Thierry neglected to say that a month after Rossellini did the symposium, he died. I don't know why he invited me, but I'm watching my weight and what I eat now. I think that there is many answers to what the future is. The one I know is true is not what we have right now. It is unsustainable. In so many ways, what we have belongs to an older structure. And the future will present itself no matter we want it or not. It just shows up. And it slaps us in the face or it pats us in the back, whatever it wants, but it'll show up. And it will not be this because I think the level of participation, the level of dialogue that we have right now in the old structures is not sustainable. I think that when we look at where we are, there are many things. The entire structure of who we are as a race, as a humanity, is shifting. It's shifting completely. It took one pandemic to shake it all up. We survived that pandemic because we had three things: food, medicine, and stories. The three things sustained us for so many months and years that we understand that we are in the craft of doing a thing that is of primary order to do. At the same time, it's not only the pandemic. Where we are as filmmakers, where we are as a culture, didn't just happen to us. We were very actively participating to get us where we are. The fact that I feel that film as a phenomenon, as a cultural phenomenon, as an artistic expression, has shifted its importance and has shifted the place it holds in the culture is part of that. And this is one of the things we have to discuss. For it to be good and for me to survive in a month, there will be no right answers or wrong answers. My hope is that we can just say it the way we feel it. Because what for the people that watch the movies is a filmography, for us it's a biography. It's our life. It's our years, the years that we're not with the family, drunken, not drunken, in a vacation and not a vacation, whatever. It's our biography. We don't experience it the way you experience our movies. We experience from the inside, so the only thing I would ask from everyone participating is to be real and to be subjective. If you disagree with the ideas, that's perfectly fine. But if we don't have this chance to say it the way we feel it, the way we experience it, we will never have anything productive come out of this. And it's really, really tough to exist in the present, which is the only place we can exist in, because then we have a commitment to the past and the future. The past is not gatekeeping, is not elitism, is to hold the excellence that came before us so we can recognize the future when it shows up, and it's not just a repetition. So that's part of the present, and we are in the present losing more movies from the past faster than ever before. It seems like we aren't, but the mere disappearance of physical media is already having corporations curating what we watch faster for us. You know, I would like to ask a few questions of that. For example, I think that the duty to the future, we have to wonder what we can do, because here's what is great about the future. It doesn't belong to us. So our duty is not to ourselves, but to the future. For the people that will come after, for there to be a continuity, for it to exist in some recognizable form. I'm not, and I guess Thierry asked me to be here for one unique reason. I'm not afraid of anything. I'm very happy whatever comes. I think there's a moment where we're in, and there's a moment when we're out. And I'm at peace with anything. I'm at peace with the formats changing, this changing, that changing. What I think we have to question ourselves, and this is one of the basic questions, are we arguing about the size of the screen or the size of the ideas? Are we arguing that cinema can only exist at a certain footage? Or is cinema something that holds us with visuals and music and sound, and it transports us to a place that no other art form can? And I think this is something we have to answer from the present and facing the future. You know, I think that if we look at where we are right now, if we look at the present, which is very urgent to answer, if you ask anyone, they're busier than ever. Everybody's working. Everybody's doing a TV series, everybody's doing a commercial, a video, a feature, and I feel that we produce more than ever, and we can watch less than ever what we produce. Everybody in this room has yet to catch up with 20 movies, 10 TV series, 50 commercials. We are all behind. So in a sense, we have a train that is moving faster, and we're all running outside the train, trying to jump on board at some point. So it's really interesting, and I think this has to do, and this is the language that I do find pernicious and we should discuss. There are two pieces of language that entered our lexicon about 5-6 years ago that are horrible. Content and pipeline, which are to describe oil, water, or sewage. Whatever it is, they don't describe art. They don't describe cinema, because they talk about an impermanence, something that we just gotta flush through. It has to keep moving. And I think that in my mind, a beautiful work of audiovisual storytelling should hold its place next to a novel, a painting. We don't talk about old paintings. We just talk about a painting when we're in front of it. It's always new. When you're in front of Starry Night, it's always new. When you open the Brothers Karamazov, it's not an old book, it's always new. And the same is true of that. And I think we have to discuss that in these terms for us that practice it. I think that where we are as cinema and the state we find ourselves in is the responsibility of distributors, exhibitors, and filmmakers, creators. You know, and I think we have to question where the communication is broken, where we can patch it, what we are doing, what do we want, you know. And I think for the future we want to demand more of ourselves. I think that we want to be fearless, frankly. We want to be fearless in a time where I think from every direction fear keeps coming at us. And I think it's the duty of us as storytellers to remain, if we can and if we want it, fearless. I think that if we all agree that things have changed already, and somewhat willingly or unwillingly we participated in this, by omission, by participation, whichever way, then we know that we can also change them going ahead. By participation, by enforcing, by demanding at least a right to have our own voice and our own personality. And to understand this, the only thing we should not do is just enshrine the past and trying to preserve it, because it's not going to hold. It is not going to hold exactly as it was, and it shouldn't. You know, I think that we are in a moment, and it may sound like an exaggeration, or I think we are in exactly the same moment that cinema found itself with the advent of sound. That's how profound the change is. We are finding that it's more than the delivery systems that change. It's the relationship of the audience with the story that is shifting. And do we hold it, or do we seek, and are we adventurous for it? I think that the other thing I know is, fortunately for all of us, that whatever the answers are, whether we find them in this panel or not, I don't know, but they will be found in places like Cannes. They will be found by surrendering ourselves